Hey everybody, it's John. I just thought I was going to do a video just to kind of show everyone kind of how I end up going about editing pictures. A couple things I was going to say before was what I've learned throughout shooting and all of that is that it's a big deal to get good pictures out of the camera. Like when you take them off your camera, you should be happy with the way they look already for the most part. With the exception of, just a few things that clearly just need to be fixed a little bit. And the other thing is do not over edit. Don't go crazy and make it look like something completely different unless it's like a tasteful kind of thing. Like there's those HDRs, I've done a few of those and stuff like that. That works good, but for the most part, just try to keep it pretty simple editing and all that. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I was just going to start with this picture of Mackenzie that I took a little while ago. I typically edit on my Windows, but it's easier for me to do this video on my Mac. So anyway, we're going to go into this, and I'm just going to show you real quick kind of what I did to get the look of the original edited picture. All I'm really doing on this one is, so you can see that it's kind of washed out. You can see your histogram, and it's kind of, there's not a whole lot of blacks or darks or anything. I think all I really did was I started to boost the contrast, and you can see that it's already giving it a lot better look. I get it up real high on this one. Maybe give it a little bit of the blacks just to bring back some of that darkness in her hair and everything, and her eyes pop a little bit more. I might have brought the brightness down just a slight amount. So far we've gone from that to that, and just that alone is a pretty big difference. I think I probably boosted the clarity a little bit. It's probably what I do, and then maybe boost a little bit of the vibrance, and then that kind of gets the blues in her shirt to pop out. And the vibrance a lot of times will just boost what needs to be boosted and leave the things that are already really saturated kind of where they are. So from here, I would go ahead and bounce it out to Photoshop, and I'm just going to do that by pressing Command E, open anyway, whatever. And this will open, and once this opens, really in Photoshop I don't do a whole lot. I might kind of just see what it looks like, maybe look a little bit at my levels, and just see where that's going. I have this program called Kev's X Process. I think it's a Kubota action, and you can see it looks crazy when you put it on, but if you put it at about 10%, you can just see it gives it that slight color coat. I love that one just for most color photos. And then after that, my kind of magic is this magic sharp that goes on all my photos that you would see on my blog or my Facebook, and that does a really good sharpening to the photo. As you can just see that it went from something that was, it looks nice, but you sharpen it up and it just really gives it a good pop. And that automatically exports it down to 900 pixels. I also have a version that I've made that will do the same basic thing to a full-size picture, and just so you can see a little bit better what it's doing. I'll put this at 40%, and then you can just kind of see that it's going from that to that, from that to that, and it just gives it a good pop. So that's all for that picture. So let's see on this picture of Tucker playing the guitar. Let's say right here. Let's look at this one. In Lightroom, probably not a whole lot was done, other than maybe just to clear up his guitar. It's a little bit yellow, too yellow, so I'll pull back the the recovery a little bit. I probably contrasted a decent amount. Change some of the colors to match just the color. The kind of take the yellow off of his face. It just seemed like a little bit too yellow of a picture to me. So I'm kind of just fixing that up a little bit, just playing around, just seeing what works and what doesn't. The clarity, I always end up bumping it just a slight amount, just to give it a bit of definition, unless it's a really contrasted photo. So that looks pretty good. I'll go ahead and bring it over into Photoshop, and I think I remember for this specific photo that I used an action called Lux Hard from Totally Rad, and it's a really cool action that gives it a real cool color cast. It does this sort of thing right here. It gives that kind of muted color, and then I believe that on top of that I added another action from Totally Rad called Pool Party and brought it down and that was pretty similar to how the photo looked, I believe. And then after that, I just used that sharpening action just to give it that pop so that he sticks out from the background real well. And that was about it. So you go from that to that, just with those few steps. Like I said, just really simple editing. Just takes me I edited the 76 photos from that concert that night in probably one sitting at one night. I mean, it only took me, it's probably 2 hours of editing time, and I edited 76 photos. So I mean, just be real simple with your editing. And I mean, I guess for all these other stuff, it's basically the same concept, just a little bit of contrast, a little bit of blacks if you need it, change the color. It's really subjective to anyone. Anyone can do something completely different from how I'm doing it, but I'm just trying to give some of my ideas of how I do it. So I'd open this and pretty much just maybe mess with some of these totally rad actions that give it some really cool looks. I mean, I for sure didn't use this on the photo, but I mean, I could do something like that, bring the opacity down some, and maybe throw a purple one on top of it, and then do Lux on top of all of that. And then now you have this kind of like muted photo. You could merge all of them and do some more levels and bring out the black, bring back the blacks. And you go from that to that. So I mean, it's really, you could go anywhere with it. So main thing is be simple, take good photos out of the camera, and have fun with it. That is all. Bye.